My name is David Hafner, and I pastor in Prairie City, Oregon.
My name is Robin Claudson. I am from LeGrand First Baptist.
I'm Jeremy Schumacher. I get to pastor Good Roots Community Church and been riding motorcycles with the Motorcycle Prayer Ride for a few years now.
I love to ride motorcycles and been involved in the prayer ride now since its inception.
I've been coming on the prayer ride for about 6 years.
My name's Aaron Appleby, and I'm one of the pastors in LeGrand, and we have been prayer riding for years now. It actually started back in 2010 or 2011 with a couple guys from Prairie City and John Day who just loved motorcycles and loved other churches and wanted to support especially those churches out in rural community who didn't get touched a lot.
As a pastor, I understand what it's like to be secluded and isolated out in rural America, and I've always appreciated it when people have come by and visited with me and encouraged me, and so we felt that we would combine our love for motorcycle riding with prayer and encouragement and begin to go around throughout Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Northern California, and visit rural churches.
When we go to each of the churches, it opens up my world to an area that I'm really familiar with the state of Oregon and Washington and Idaho. And when we go through different areas, when we're driving, I remember different prayer requests of the churches, and I'm able to pray for them as we drive up and down the road. Picking up a bookmark from Missoula, Montana, and being able to pray for them as I'm reading my Bible in the mornings. It brings the world closer together in that I can remember the needs of people other than those in my immediate area.
We get to connect relationally. In a covenant community, like any other relationship, you have to work at it, and so you have to put the time in, you have to make some sacrifices, and you have to go towards people. And every time you do it, it just really pays off. And I think that it's honoring to God, and it's really good for building the relationships within churches, and so it's a lot of fun.
We get to spend time camping like this in God's beautiful creation. Sometimes we camp in someone's foyer or auditorium, and we have heard so many stories about God working throughout the Northwest. And also along the way, we've ran into people that you wouldn't expect to help and been able to help them. We've also ran into our own issues along the way and been able to navigate those with God's help.
This isn't a man's thing, it's a person thing. It's beautiful. We stop about every hour and get off the bikes and gas up and pray with the church.
We're riding all over Washington, all over Idaho. We even went over into Montana, Northern California. They've even gone up into Alaska. And so we just love being able to encourage all our churches in the Pacific Northwest.
I think one of the most exciting things is actually going back the second and the third time just to see how God has answered prayer and to see how guys have grown and how their churches have grown, and that's been tremendous. The fellowship is great, but I just know personally how important it is to know that people are thinking of you and praying for you, that they're willing to come to where you live. That's why we do what we do, and I enjoy it and look forward to many more years to come.
Quickly grew to all over the Northwest. Those guys.